Our early sisters really set an example of taking on whatever life gives them.
The Sisters of St. Mary of Oregon have been an important presence in the Beaverton, Oregon community for more than 100 years. The sisters originally came to Oregon from Ohio and Minnesota, part of a group that had broken away from the religious community of the Precious Blood.
When they came out to Oregon and settled in Jordan, the women who were in this community wanted to receive the sacraments and go to Mass, and that wasn't being offered to them.
The parents became the trustees of them. It did not work very well because they didn't understand religious life and what the women wanted. They would even sometimes sneak off to be able to make their efforts to get to church.
In 1885, Archbishop William Gross met with the women. He offered them a choice. They could stay with their trustees of their community or join him as sisters.
The first 10 stood up and decided that they would leave the community and that they would strike out on their own.
The dad said, "You're not going, you're my daughter." I mean, some of them were only 16 years old. And there were a couple older ones, like 18 or 19.
Their fathers kind of yelled at them and said, "Sit down," but they didn't do it. So the courage of those women is just amazing to me.
After the sisters chose to break away from their trustees, Benedictine monks and sisters offered them a temporary home in Mount Angel, Oregon. Months later, the sisters moved to an abandoned school building in Sublimity, Oregon to begin their ministry.
They talk about how the windows were broken out and the rodents lived in it and there was no heat. They just lived a very, very meager life. They picked hops and helped to harvest crops in order to make money to buy their food.
As they began to do ministry, they started teaching in Sublimity, and a couple of the sisters went on a begging tour, but they really didn't speak English, so that must have been quite a challenge for them, going to such an unknown place. Today we get out our GPS and get ready to go.
I cannot fathom what it would be like to have that kind of energy and zeal and courage, and the sense to say yes to God no matter what.
In 1891, the Archdiocese asked the sisters to serve at a new orphanage north of Sublimity. The location? Beaverton, Oregon.
Did they know where Beaverton was? I don't think so. The place wasn't finished. They were dirt floors. The sisters did all the cooking, all the caring of these young boys. And yet, when those men would come back, they truly saw those sisters as their mothers.
They had so many children in the orphanage that the rest of the sisters, except 3 in Sublimity, 3 in Vervoort, all moved to the orphanage. And then from there, the first mother house was built across the street from where we are now.
Today, the Sisters of St. Mary of Oregon continue to honor the legacy of the sisters who came before them.
Though they didn't have the English language, though they didn't have relationships and roots here in the Pacific Northwest, they responded to a call and they did what God asked them to do.
That determination of hard work and making a go of things is something that we have picked up, and we continue to do that today.